retire, aren't you? And I said, yes. And he said, well, then you need something to do.
So how did you end up playing with New Horizons Band?
Well, when I was in grade school, I wanted to play a trombone. I don't know why, but I loved the trombone. I never got the opportunity. It was the Big Depression. Wasn't enough money. Then along, I saw a thing in the newspaper. We're starting a New Horizons Band for adults. I thought, that's for me. I went out and bought a trombone, and I joined the band. I'm having the time of my life.
The whole idea of New Horizons is to teach adults to play something new, or if they've never played in their lives, to pick an instrument they'd like to play. Now, I played oboe through high school and college, but I'd put it down for a number of years because I didn't own an instrument. And through a series of events, a gentleman here in town passed away, and he willed me this beautiful array instrument from France, and I had no place to play it. And when Jim came up with this idea of New Horizons, I said, oh, I'd love to play. And so he got me some reeds, and I started practicing again, and it's been so much fun just to learn again and play again, especially as an adult. It's just such a great part of my life. I play percussion in another group here in town, but playing oboe again is just kind of brings back the love I had for it so many years ago.
Why would someone want to take their adulthood and play a musical instrument?
That's a good question. I think that, first of all, it's a very worthwhile activity. Our group especially, we work hard on the social aspect to get to know new friends, make new friends. We have a social time at every rehearsal. After concerts, a lot of people will go out together for maybe a meal. Also, it's mentally very stimulating. It's a strong mental exercise. Music is difficult to play.
What's your advice to people who are thinking they might want to pick up an instrument, but they haven't done it for a long time? What's the first step into music feel like?
Well, I think they should go to a band, watch a band, see what kind of instrument they might like, and then go try it out. I started out on a slide trombone in I don't know, 3rd or 4th grade. Got into high school, and they needed baritone players in the marching band, so I switched. Then for 40 years, I didn't play anything except harmonicas, and we started the New Horizons Band. What do I have now? I got a baritone, 3 trombones, 2 trumpets, a cornet, and a flugelhorn.
What's your advice to people who are thinking about possibly picking up an instrument?
Well, I think they need to be prepared to spend some time with it and not get discouraged. If they start and it doesn't work out, I think they have to keep at it. And I think also, I don't know how you determine, but I think you need to pick out the right instrument for yourself and not just go in a music store and pick up a clarinet. Maybe that's not what you want to play or can play. So I think you need to somehow figure out what instrument is best for you.
Suppose we have a viewer and they're thinking, I might want to play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pick an instrument that you might want to play?
It sounds complicated, but it isn't. It's actually quite simple. Everyone has in them a concept of style that they've surrounded themselves with by decisions they've made through their whole life. The people they've associated with, the kind of work they chose to do, if they had a job or a career or both. They've made decisions, and those decisions subconsciously were influenced by the art around them, whether they accept that or not. And inside of them, they have this idea that, well, that sounds good, or I like that sound, or there's something about that sound that I'd like to know more about. So I just help them match up the sound that they like to the instrument that produces it.
What do you like about the instrument?
I like it so much because it's a unique instrument. I love the sound. The reason I switched to it in high school was because I was 5 of us were vying for first chair clarinet, and I got tired of being challenged. So the oboe position came up, and I decided to switch, and I fell in love with the instrument.
What do you like about it?
The band? Oh gosh, everything. Everyone here is so friendly and so helpful. And it's just the opportunity to make music in a band. There's never any criticism. It's just fun. And I love that.
You hit people when they make a mistake?
Absolutely not. Mistakes are good. And one of the things that we preach is if you're going to make a mistake, make a good one so we can all enjoy it. And we do. Everybody makes mistakes, including myself.
What do they get out of it?
They get a self-realization that there's more in their life than what they've experienced or that they've kept out. It answers the question for many of them, what have I missed? I've worked every day of my life. I have a nice home. I have a family, but there's something inside of me that I know is there, but I don't know what it is. Well, they're not all professional quality musicians, but once they learn through music that art is for everyone, they appreciate all art. And they can hear and see so much more than they could before. It just opens up an entire world to them that they just didn't take the time to experience before. So
you were a professional musician?
Yeah, I was a professional musician in education, which is a fancy way of saying I was a music teacher. Yeah, I taught public school and college music for 34 years. And I was a school arts administrator for 4 years.
What's the difference in working with young persons in school and adults?
The adults have less baggage. They're not as intimidated. They're not as peer group influenced. Even though they are concerned always about not making too many mistakes. When I say, look, mistakes are good. And if you think about it in your life, when you really learn something, it was after you evaluated something that you really messed up. The only bad mistake is if you quit. Because if you quit, you've given up, and that's a mistake. So they enjoy learning, where kids are so worried about making a mistake in front of their peers. And then they get to the point where making mistakes is cool. And so they make mistakes on purpose just to be accepted. Well, these folks don't do any of that. They just want to get better. They don't really care how better. If it's a little bit, that's good. If it's a little bit, baby steps, that's real good.
That was a nice story, Dave. It looked like you had fun interviewing those folks.
It was more than fun. When somebody's talking with you about their enjoyment of music and their enjoyment of their musical instrument, you can really see the happiness it brings to them, and it's available to everybody at any age. And that's the great part of the story.
It was fun to see them with such passion about it. You think of older folks who are retiring and just sort of sitting at home and quietly reading the paper. This is something they absolutely love and couldn't get enough of.
Have you picked your instrument?
I used to play trumpet when I was a kid. Looking at that, I almost want to go back and see if I could bring back my inner Miles Davis.
I want to play them all.
Yeah, the saxophone is one I love to listen to. But it's probably a long time commitment for me.
Well, that's a wrap on our show.
It is.
Arts Quest. We are on a quest for the best arts in Northeastern Ohio, and we thank you for coming along.
I'm Todd V.
Dave Kettlewell.
We'll see you next time on Arts Quest.
Arts Quest.
Hi, this is David Kettlewell, host of the Medical Matters TV show. I'm here with a close friend, John Wright of American Ramp Systems. John, tell us a little bit about wheelchair ramps.
David, American Ramp Systems manufactures a steel ramp. It's an open mesh metal. It allows snow and moisture to pass through in the winter times, making it the most non-skid ramp on the market. We sell these ramps and we rent the ramps. We offer free home evaluations, and they require no building permits.
Very good. So when you need a wheelchair ramp, American Ramp Systems, freedom for life.
Arts Quest would like to thank the Bang Clatter Theatre Company, with 2 locations in Cleveland and Akron, Ohio. The Akron Art Museum for hosting internationally known photographer Pedro Meyer, and New Horizons Band of Cuyahoga Falls. We're on a quest to bring the arts home to you.
Art Quest.
Arts Quest.
Arts Quest.